Built in 1899, Broderick Stable housed horses for 100 years. After significant repairs, now its future is uncertain. We're talking today about when we lose our historic landmarks. I'm Judy Laird Jacobs, the Executive Director of the Friends of the Blue Hills. And you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Kristen Mincy. I am a DCR Park Ranger with the Mountain Unit.
And who's this?
This is Sergeant Michael Sullivan, also known as Sergeant Mike or just Mike. Michael sometimes. He's one of our patrol horses.
That's very fun. So if you've seen horses in the Blue Hills, just let us know in the comments, a yes or a no. And you're watching Blue Hills Alive, your weekly guide to the Blue Hills, sponsored by Tom O'Neill of Success Realty. And one comment, if you like learning about history and the Blue Hills, you'll want to know what's in our guide to the Blue Hills, which is over 11 pages of kind of just different facets of the Blue Hills, like where you'd find remnants of a railroad track. So let's get started. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks
Do you
for
want
having
to
us.
just introduce yourself first? And Sergeant.
So, like I said, this is Sergeant Mike, and I'm Kristen Mincy. I'm one of the DCR Park Rangers with the Mountain Unit. And Mike and I, along with some of his other patrol partners, we go out on the trails statewide, but our home is the Blue Hills Reservation. So right now we are in the heart of the Blue Hills Reservation.
So we're at Broderick Stable. So you want to talk a little bit about Mike?
So Mike,
Sorry, Sergeant Mike.
so he is a draft crossbreed. So draft horses are the large working horse breeds that you see, gigantic hoofs, lots of body, really stocky. They basically do work, pulling carriages, pulling logs. We use crossbreeds because of their size, and they're also docile. They're very calm, like they're gentle giants. So Mike is crossed Clydesdale and Trakehner. Trakehner's just a more smaller version of him and athletic. So we have that combination of a calm personality, quite the personality, and the athleticism to do the job. So, yeah, he enjoys his job.
So I keep looking at his ears. When they're back, are they supposed to be everywhere?
Nope.
No.
That's a good observation, actually. So they're very keen to sound. And when he's moving his ears around, he's basically following sounds from all directions. So, for example, if we were out on a search and rescue, which is something these guys do, and they're a very useful tool for something like that, whereas if we were out on an ATV, we wouldn't hear a child crying or screaming if they were lost. But if we're on a horse, the horses pick up on things that humans can't because they have the ability to hear so well and smell. So we kind of let their ears be our guide in certain situations. And yes, when they're angry, the ears also do tell us. So that guides us to say, okay, buddy, calm down.
Got it. So we're talking about horses, but we're also talking about Broderick Stable, and we're right in Broderick Stable if we turn it around. So you wanna should we just give you a little bit of background on the stable?
Sure. So this stable was built in 1899. It was one of the first stables built for working horses in the parks. Quite a beautiful structure because it's historic. We're trying to preserve it the best we can. Currently, right now, our horses are not housed in it because we're still in the last phase of our construction.
Should we see if we can see inside?
Sure.
That's,
Come on in.
What is special about this?
Well, it remains the same as it was when it was built. We have what's called standing stalls inside, where you would generally think, come on in. So standing stalls purposes are for carriage horses. It teaches them to stand still and stand straight. So when they're hooked up to a carriage, you know how there's the spokes on either side of them. It's a tool used to train them, and for a mounted unit's purpose, we would use these for when they're tacked up, they're ready to go out on patrol, but we're not quite ready, so they just kind of stand there and wait for us. It's a good training tool, but on this side we actually have 2 box stalls, which is what we use now. These stalls are from back in the day, and we now have your Hyatt hotel of a stall, where they can spread out, they can roll around, they can lay down. Whereas back in the late 1800s, or as far back as horses have been used to build this country, these were the types of stalls. They weren't really doted on. They were very much working animals, whereas we've evolved as humans, and we now treat our animals much, much better. And to be honest, our horses, specifically, get more spa treatment than I'll ever see in my life.
That's fun. So this was used for over 100 years, right?
For horses, exactly.
And why did they stop using it?
Well, it was deemed unsafe because it is over 100 years old. Eventually, you're going to need construction done on it. You're going to need repairs. So right now, we can't put horses in here for safety reasons because they are large animals. So we need to make sure that they're safe. We can be in here as humans right now, but a ton animal wouldn't necessarily do well on the floor that's been here for 100 years at this point. So
that's one of the repairs that
correct
to be done.
Yep, that and the back wall is our supporting wall, so we want to make sure it doesn't look like this.
Right. So maybe when we talk about the other work that has been done, we'll walk around.
Well, on this side you can see that it's been sided and the courtyard's roof has been done. So it's coming along.
And it's not open yet.
No,
so
we're not able to house horses in here. But we do have our paddocks. The Friends of the Blue Hills actually helped us build our 3rd one last summer. There's one on the other side of the mounted house. So that building that you're looking at right there is the mounted house. That's where, way back in the day, the groundsman, the person who looked after the horses, would live in that house and see that the animals were taken care of day in, day out. There's a paddock, if you see that other white fence on the other side, we have our paddock right here, and then we just built another one in the back of the stable with the help of the fence.
So, yeah, with a bunch of our volunteers, should we just take the walk now?
Sure.
To see what else is you talked about the eyebrow that they've done already. So there's a significant amount that's been done, but there's
Correct.
a whole lot that needs also to be done.
Sure, and with a structure this old, it's intricate, so. But this courtyard is gorgeous. It's stonework all around. And we have we're actually having our Park Serve Day coming up, so these gardens will be weeded.
And this was all built in 1899, or did they add on?
The courtyard was added on just a few years after the stable itself was built. And then just a few years after that, the sister stable was built. That is on Route 28 in Chickatawbit Road, which is currently not in use also, as it is an older structure. So as far as I know, there's no construction plans.
You want to talk about the eyebrow?
Sure.
That was
gorgeous.
I think it's eyesore before it got repaired.
Yep, it definitely was. But now, if you can you see the front of it, the gate? That, when you're driving by and just looking at it, it makes you look, it makes you wonder, because it's just gorgeous. The curvature over the archway, I mean, the stonework, beautiful work.
We'll move back over.
Okay.
Do you want to talk a little bit about just being a mounted park ranger?
Sure. So, I started out actually volunteering with the unit, and that led to me becoming a mounted ranger. So the volunteer programs, anytime you have an opportunity to volunteer with any group, I'd suggest doing it. One, it's a great way to get into the community and help. It makes you feel good. And then you get to know a little more about the cause itself and what it consists of, and that's what really hooked me. once I got involved and I saw what the job was about, which is that since we're state parks, we patrol statewide. So we could be in the Blue Hills Reservation one day, and we could be on the beach the next. It just depends on any given day and what the deployment plans are. We get the horses ready in the morning, like I said, the spa treatments. We get them on the trailer. We take them to our site. Usually they're tacked up and ready to go, so we can just get right in the saddle and go. If we're anywhere near a playground, like when we go down to Houghton's Pond, one of my favorite things is hearing the kids screaming when they see us coming, "There's horses!" and their little high-pitched voices. So we'll stop and let them say hi and pet the horses, which we actually encourage. If we were in our trucks, nobody would be like, "Here comes our truck!" So nobody wants to pet the truck either. So it's a good outreach tool to have the horses in the parks. Also, when I'm on my horse, I can see 5 blocks from the point at which I'm standing. So my visibility enables me to see the bigger picture. Like if we have emergency vehicles that need to come through, the horses can help keep the lane open. There's all kinds of areas to the job that I just enjoy so much because it's different every day. And being a lifetime horseback rider, it kind of is the dream job for me personally. So,
do you want to talk a little bit about your background with
well,
horses?
I started riding when I was 8 years old. My mom took me out of gymnastics and put me in horseback riding, not realizing she was about to go broke doing it because I was hooked right away. So I've been riding since I was 8 and done jumping, done dressage, a little bit of Western, and when I started volunteering for the unit, I got to learn a whole different aspect of the horse world and how it's actually a job as opposed to a competitive sport. So, and the purpose is great. I love the purpose of the job. I love all aspects of the job, especially when the community wants to get involved. They want to meet the horses. They want to come and help volunteer. And then we have other volunteer groups like the Friends of the Blue Hills who collaborate with us, and just everybody's happy and outside in the beautiful weather. I mean, on a sunny day after this winter, cabin fever set in pretty deep. So everybody should be getting out into the parks and enjoying the beautiful weather. And if you see us out there, please don't hesitate to stop and say hi and ask to pet one of the horses.
Wow, that's great. So, back to the stable.
Sure.
We'd love to know if you've noticed the stable over the years and maybe seen some of the changes that have gone on. So there's been significant investment, but I guess last year there wasn't funds to kind of finish the job. What would happen if it wasn't able to be repaired and there, kind of wasn't able to be maintained?
I'd cry. No, it would be a crying shame to lose such a historical structure because once history's gone, it's gone for good. You cannot bring it back and make it like it was originally. And being the DCR, conservation is our goal, and recreation also for people to enjoy themselves. So it kind of goes hand in hand to preserve a historic building so that the public can come and meet the horses in their home, because this is the DCR Park Rangers Mounted Unit's home base. And it's great that we're in the dead center. We're in the heart of the Blue Hills Reservation. So there's all types of people going hiking, groups, and it's great that they can pass by here and say, "Oh, there's horses." And it just immediately turns your attention to them, and people want to know about them. So to lose a structure like this, historically, I mean, this building is on the National Register of Historic Buildings. So that in and of itself would be a shame because it's there and it's noted. But for the public's purpose, they'd be missing so much. I mean, to be able to do a stable tour, see inside, talk to the rangers. I mean, there's so many little kids that see the horses and then they see one of us mounted rangers, and you almost think that they're looking at you like, I want to be that one day, So there's many reasons why it would be a shame to lose a building like this. So
great, thanks. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
I just want to enjoy the beautiful day. Thank you so much for having us. I appreciate the opportunity to speak.
Thank you. And thanks for watching. You're watching Blue Hills Alive, your weekly guide to the Blue Hills, sponsored by Tom O'Neill of Success Real Estate in Milton. And this video series is every Thursday at noon. Next week we'll talk about something that all hikers depend upon. So we'll see you next Thursday at noon. Thanks.